Hey everybody, it's your boy Prof and we're back again with a new video by Good Enough. This is the most painful venoms in the world. Let's check it out, y'all. Let's check it
Let's
out.
start with the painful and slowly work our way towards the most
Worse
agonizing
than
venoms on the
death.
list. Number 10, Gila
God damn.
monster. The Gila monster is the only venomous lizard in the United
Is that how you pronounce it? I've never tried to pronounce it. Gila monster? Gila monster?
States, weighing in around 4 pounds, also making it the largest.
No,
These shy but dangerous animals live in the southwestern deserts of the US and northern Mexico. Now, don't let the name or its appearance fool you. Even though it looks intimidating, I can assure you, it's just like everyone else in your life. They don't want anything to do with you. The lizards are actually very relatable, spending 90% of their lives relaxing inside of their homes and only coming out to eat. The real danger comes when humans try and show off by attempting to pick up the lizard. Now, you would think that the black and yellow...
Yeah, we do that. We do that with elephants. We do that with crocodiles, putting hands in mouths. We do that with all animals. We're not very smart.
Yellow markings across its entire body would be enough of a warning. Yet, every year, there are multiple people who are bitten by this slow and sluggish creature. And since the lizard doesn't like to be touched by anyone other than his girl, it'll quickly let you know that you are not that guy, latching on to whatever body part it can get a hold of. But just to make sure you get the point, the lizard will stay latched on for as long as it possibly can, with some reported bites lasting several minutes. A common way to get the animal to unlatch is to submerge its entire body in water.
Come on, you thought it, I thought it. It stays latched on, you know what I mean?
Or by simply placing a piece of black licorice inside of its mouth, causing it to gag with pure disgust.
I mean, at that point, you're already done, no?
Since the Gila monster produces venom from its saliva glands, a bite from the lizard guarantees envenomation. Shortly after the bite, the venom will begin to work its way into your body. And since there is no anti-venom available, you are in for a wild and exciting ride, which typically begins with excruciating pain and swelling around the bite.
What the hell?
Area. Soon, your vision begins to blur, followed by stomach and body aches, shortness of breath, nausea, and vomiting. The pain will last from a few hours to a few days. Now, the good news is that a bite from a Gila monster is not typically fatal, but at its peak, you're definitely going to wish it was. Number 9. The Arizona bark scorpion.
The eyebrows on that
bark scorpion carries the most painful and potent venom out of all the scorpions in North America. It inhabits the southwestern deserts of the US and northern Mexico, and a sting from one of these small creatures will leave you in agonizing pain for 24 to 72 hours. The localized pain has been described as continuous electric jolts, or the feeling of continuously being burned. The scorpion only grows to about 3 inches, making it a master of hide
motherfucker, not even 4 inches. Little motherfucker.
Hide and seek, with people typically finding them when they go to put on their shoes.
Yo, that's scary,
reach for a set of clothes.
Or you have that motherfucking...
And of course, when they go to take a shower.
What do you mean?
Now, a technique that is commonly used when looking for scorpions is the classic black light trick. When an ultraviolet light is shining in the direction of the animal, it will actually...
What if you do that in my room, though? Bad things happen.
Begin to glow, making it very easy to spot. Just make sure not to do this one around company.
Damn.
Scientists still aren't quite sure why this happens, but they believe that something in the scorpion's exoskeleton causes them to glow. If you are unlucky enough to be stung by one of these creatures, you can rest easy knowing that you're probably not going to die, but it's sure going to feel like you are. Since 1968, there have only been 2 reported deaths from the scorpion. But if I was stung, I would definitely not risk it, and would much rather go into 10 years of debt by seeking medical attention. Number 8, execution. Would much rather go into 10 years of debt by...
The scorpion anti-venom Anascorp approved in August is sold in Arizona these days for 12,000 plus per vial, meaning one cost of treatment could... I mean, it's America. All treatment is gonna run you crazy amounts of prices, right?
Seeking medical attention. Number 8, executioner wasp. A few experts have made it their...
What is that name, brother? Executioner wasp.
Personal goal to take on dozens of stings from around the world in an attempt to see which one is the most painful. Some of these experts have concluded that the executioner wasp holds the title. But after conducting my own research from the comfort of my own home, I have to disagree. Yes, to some, the venomous sting is excruciatingly painful, with the
some?
pain lasting around a week.
A
But for others, the
week?
pain is short-lived, lasting only around 20 minutes.
You mean a week?
Either way, it's extremely
That's
painful and it's
insanity.
definitely not a sting you would ever want to take. The wasp is commonly found in Central and South America. This 1-inch wasp is not
Bro, what's up with the Americas, bro? Why y'all like this?
known for being aggressive, just as long as you respect its personal space and let it be.
Just like most
Unless, of
things.
course, you're looking to rack up millions of views, then by all means, whip out the camera and take the sting.
I think I'm good, bro. Oh, we're good. Maybe wrong wasp. Oh. Oh.
Number 7. Bullet ant.
Wait,
Known around the
he didn't say if we die from this or no.
world as the most painful insect sting. Some people even know it as a 24-hour ant, since the horrendous pain can
24-hour
last
ant.
an entire day.
He has
Some
one
even
tooth.
going so far as to say that the pain is equivalent to being shot by a bullet, hence its name. The bullet ant can be found in the rainforests of Central and South America. Even though they're not
Medicus,
aggressive,
what's
they
up?
will sting if provoked. Like when they are plucked out of their natural environment, drugged, weaved tightly into a glove, and then placed onto a stranger's hand. Which is exactly what is done by the Satere Mawe people of Brazil. This initiation practice lasts an agonizing 5 to 10 minutes, which is enough time to be stung hundreds, if not thousands of times, causing excruciating pain that lasts several days. And it's not uncommon for the boy's arms to become temporarily paralyzed due to the potency of the ant's venom. All this just to welcome the boys into puberty.
Ah,
Here in the US, we have a similar tradition, but
bro, puberty is already fucked enough.
instead, it's done on teenage girls.
Huh?
Sweet 16s, where the excruciating pain comes from not receiving the card that you asked for.
No.
Number 6. Sydney funnel web spider. The
Sydney.
Sydney funnel web spider is not only the most terrifying spider on Earth, it is also the most venomous.
Where is it
growing
found?
up to 2 inches in size and equipped with fangs that can reach around half an inch long. The spider can be found in eastern Australia, where it
Oh,
builds funnel-like
never mind.
burrows from its
in
web,
Australia.
hence its name.
Do
And
love
since the
Sydney.
spider prefers moist, underground shelters, people usually encounter them in their gardens. You go to reach for some vegetables, only to be turned into one yourself. A bite from this spider is initially very painful due to the spider's
That's
long
hilarious.
fangs. And once they are sunk into
Fangs.
your flesh, it's not uncommon for the spider to stay latched on, requiring the person to shake or pull the spider off.
Hey,
Now, as traumatizing
Listen, that's kind of good though, because at least you know that you're gonna suffer, right? But you get to kill the motherfucker. Like, let's be honest. If it stings you, you want the motherfucker dead. I want him dead. Everybody
as
wants
that
him
may
dead.
be, the real horror begins around the 15-minute mark, when you begin to feel the effects of its potent venom,
God damn,
starting
that's like
with
a new human
needle-like
being.
pokes around the
Look,
bite
it's the eyes, the legs, and I don't know.
area, face, and mouth. Soon, your mouth and face begin to go numb, followed by intense nausea, profuse sweating, excessive saliva production, and uncontrollable muscle spasms. And if
Holy.
left untreated, you can eventually become unconscious, or even worse, heart failure. Now, there is good news. Life-saving anti-venom is available, but the quantity amounts are limited. That is the exact reason why the Australian Reptile Park is asking the residents of
Reptile
Sydney for
Park.
help, requesting that if you come across a spider in your home, try your best to capture it and bring it into their
Is that what they actually say? Capture the spider that might actually murder you.
facility, where
Yo,
it can be
Australians are
milked for its
crazy.
venom.
Is that
Now,
how
a
they milk
second
them?
option is to just simply
Black
walk
and
out of
milk 'em
your
better.
house and set it on fire, starting a
I
new
like
life
that
in
one better.
Antarctica where spiders don't exist.
With
But
that
of course,
one, on that island with that one taxed penguin.
this comes with the danger of accidentally falling off the edge of the earth.
Oh shit.
Number 5, the coned snail. There are hundreds of species of coned snails in the world,
That sounds
all
some
which are
Australian shit.
venomous. The potency of the venom varies from snail to snail, with some delivering a venom less painful than a bee sting, and others are so painful and potent that it can leave you dead within a few hours.
Damn.
And out of all the known cone snails, Conus
Cone
geographus
snail.
is the deadliest and most painful of them all. They can be found on the reefs of
Oh,
the Philippines.
Philippines.
It has even earned the nickname the cigarette snail, implying that after receiving a sting, you would only have enough time to smoke one
Damn.
cigarette before
That's
dropping
grim.
dead. People who are typically stung are those who are out collecting seashells, which is honestly pretty embarrassing, since people will ask you why you were even collecting seashells in the first place. And when you say,
question.
so I can put them to my ear and hear the ocean, they're going to think you're insane since you were already there. But if you were ever so
Listen, I did that as a kid though. Whoa. Fucked up. It make me feel
unlucky
bad,
to
bro.
be stung by a deadly cone snail,
Oof.
you would immediately feel the intense pain. And within a few minutes,
Hey,
the sting
bigger
area
brain,
would
though.
slowly go numb, followed by paralysis. Now, the terrifying part is that the snail's venom is so potent that paralysis can even extend into your respiratory muscles, making it increasingly
what kills you.
painful and difficult to even take a breath. And eventually, it can lead to a coma. Thankfully, there hasn't been any reported deaths in
Oh.
recent years. And even though there's
What-
no
what
anti-venom
recent
available,
years?
medical assistance is all but necessary, as you will be feeling the intense pain of this venom for days to come. Just remember, if it's a cone, leave it alone.
What is that?
Number 4,
Coneheads?
stonefish. The deadly stonefish can be found throughout the Pacific and Indian Ocean,
Okay.
and has to be the most
I'll be honest with you. As a European Bulgarian, I am very happy so far for this video. I'm pretty sure nothing else is gonna be near us. So, okay, yeah, I'll deal with all the fucked up
most
motherfuckers.
frustrating
okay?
and annoying
Good.
animal of all time. Not only is it the most venomous fish in the world, it is also practically invisible. I mean, take a look at this picture. Do you see it?
Nope.
I bet you didn't.
Oh,
You would have been dead.
god damn.
And
it.
of course, the stonefish inhabits the only interesting part of the ocean, coral reefs. Here, they lay completely still on the rocks, blending
God,
into
that's
their
one
environment,
ugly
patiently
man.
waiting for their next meal to swim along. The
Man,
issue
fish.
arises when humans swim too close to the fish and end up stepping on
Oof.
it. And since the fish has around 13 razor-sharp venomous spines down its entire back, you are in for a world of pain. The spines grow to over an inch in length,
Why
and
did it
they
evolve
all
like that, though?
excrete a generous amount of venom deep into your wound. And if left untreated, the pain will only increase, with the unbearable pain slowly traveling up the limb. The venom can eventually lead to shock, paralysis, and heart failure. Even though fatalities are rare, medical attention should be called as soon as possible to prevent any long-term damage.
Oh.
But now that you know,
I mean, to be honest, if you see any of those symptoms with anything, you should probably call 911
how
or whatever
dangerous the
the number
stonefish
is.
is, you're probably thinking, well, I guess I'll just avoid the coral reefs then. Nice try. The fish is one step ahead of you, since it
it?
also loves to bury itself under the ocean sand, just in case you were thinking about
Just
getting
avoid
in
the
the
ocean,
water.
brother.
So you're probably telling yourself, you know what, I'll just stay out of the ocean completely and enjoy the beach. Wrong. The fish can also survive out of the water and
Why?
underneath the sand, which
Why? Who made it like this? Who made this disgusting creature be like this? Explain.
is commonly seen when the tide recedes. So do yourself a favor and just forget about the beach entirely. Number 3.
Or just don't go to those beaches. You know, the B word.
Inland taipan snake. The inland taipan snake of Central
Taipan.
Australia is the most
Hey,
venomous
Australia.
snake in the world.
What's up?
Even though the snake doesn't look as intimidating as a cobra, rattlesnake,
It's a snake, bro. That's already intimidating enough.
or a black mamba, I can assure you this is the last snake you would ever want to come across. The snake typically hunts small rodents, but it produces enough venom in a single bite to kill 500,000 of them, or around
Why?
100 fully grown men,
Damn.
making it around 70 times more deadly than a king cobra. And without medical
What?
attention, a bite from
What is the point of this, having this much venom? Like,
this snake is nothing short of a death sentence. Now,
Damn.
one of the most terrifying things about this snake is the fact that it typically strikes multiple times, with rodents getting a little bit extra, typically
What?
receiving around 8 bites. Now, the good news is that the snake
bro, 8 bites for a rat? Where are you biting it? Does the rat have a fat ass? What are you doing to the rat?
is rather shy and tries its best to avoid humans. Yet, if there's one thing people hate,
Yeah, we dumb
is
as
being
shit.
told no. So people still find a way to get bitten.
Luffy,
This
no.
usually happens when people
Why,
try and pick
Luffy?
up the animal in the wild, or when they keep it as a pet.
God.
No, I'm not kidding. Keeping a deadly snake as a pet is not
I
the
mean,
flex
To be honest, people keep lions as pets, so yeah. And hyenas.
You think it is.
And other
And all you are doing
crazy
is
stuff.
guaranteeing that you will never have any visitors. Now, the good news is when you finally get tired of being alone, you can always release the animal at the nearby county park, completely devastating the ecosystem,
Why
which
is
is
he
a
saying that?
classic
Is that
move we have seen
happened?
play out thousands of times. A bite from the inland taipan has to be one of the most traumatic experiences a person can go through. The bite itself is excruciatingly painful, but after a few minutes, the localized pain will become the least of your worries. You see, the snake's venom quickly begins to produce thousands of blood clots inside of your body, except for the bite area, causing you to slowly lose blood, and if left untreated, it can become fatal. But before you get to that point, you will be dealing with the pain of failing organs, shock, and paralysis that affects the entire body, including the lungs and heart. But
Just
luckily,
that, huh?
there's life-saving anti-venom available. But even with medical attention, you will be dealing with the painful aftermath of this bite for weeks to come, or possibly
Weeks?
even a lifetime. Number 2, box jellyfish. You were
Box
probably
jellyfish.
expecting to see this one at number
Australia?
1, weren't you? The box jellyfish is notorious for having one of, if not the most painful venomous stings in the world. But out of all the box jellyfish, the Chironix fleckeri, or better known as the Australian
what?
box jellyfish, delivers the most painful and deadliest
I
sting
knew
of
it
them
was
all.
Australia.
With enough venom to kill 60 people,
Wait, the other one
it
had
would only
100.
make sense that they are also completely invisible. The jellyfish's 15 tentacles can grow to over 10 feet in length and are equipped with millions of cnidocytes, which are
Damn.
basically microscopic harpoon-like stingers that they use to inject venom. A sting from this jellyfish can be fatal in as short as 2 to 5 minutes, since the potent and rapid-acting
Damn.
venom attacks the person's central nervous system, causing cardiac arrest, respiratory failure, and paralysis. But if you were lucky enough to survive a sting, you are soon going to wish you hadn't. The pain is instant and extremely agonizing,
it
being
struck the eye.
described as being branded with the red-hot iron
Okay,
whip.
when people describe these things, like, do they know what it feels like to be branded with a red hot iron whip? I don't think they do. 'Cause that'd be weird. Why would you say that then? You probably don't know the pain of that, so why say that?
The pain is so intense
what I
that
mean?
some people even pass out from the pain alone.
Damn.
This is also not a pain that eases up either and will continue for days, lasting for up to a week. A person who was stung ranked the pain on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being extreme pain, giving it a score of
11.
100.
Okay,
Which
fair enough.
obviously has to be dismissed since that number wasn't even an option. Even with medical assistance and anti-venom, the road to recovery will be a long and painful one. Some of the jellyfish's victims will even be left with scars, leaving them with a lasting reminder of the hell that they once went through.
Is there
Number-
jellyfish hunters? Like, that sounds like something that you wanna, destroy forever if you ever suffered something like this.
1. The platypus.
The
Now, this
platypus?
is nothing short of a tragedy. The cutest animal on the list also delivers the most painful venomous sting in the world.
The one
The
detective?
platypus can be found in the rivers of eastern Australia. These
Australia
adorable little creatures spend their days constructing or fixing
I
up
think the thing is behind their tail, right?
their burrows, hunting for food, and of course,
somewhere there.
grooming themselves.
Huh?
Since looking this cute is not by accident. Even though you might be inclined to
me.
give this little Pokemon a belly rub,
Be an
I
accident.
must highly advise against it. Since the platypus is equipped with a razor-sharp venomous spur that is located on their back legs. The venom is non-lethal to humans, but again, if stung, you're going to wish it was. Now, thankfully, the animal is
that
not
bad,
known
though?
for being aggressive towards humans, and most
What?
things occur when a person attempts to pick the animal up, and a swift kick will lodge its venomous spur into your flesh, requiring you to physically yank the stinger out of your wound,
curved
which
as
is not
fuck.
as easy as it sounds, since the pain of the venom is instantaneous and devastating. And as you wait for medical assistance to arrive, you will be suffering with the extreme pain. Once you reach the hospital and expecting some
Good luck.
relief, you will be shocked to find out that there is no anti-venom available.
Oh.
But the news only gets worse from here. There is also no painkiller that is known to be effective.
What?
Not even morphine is strong enough to stop the agonizing pain. You have no choice but to remain in pure hell for days. And in most cases, the limb that was
Damn.
struck will remain unusable for months, with a high
Months?
possibility of developing excruciating hyperalgesia, which causes the limb to become hypersensitive to pain. Not quite convinced that this little guy should be number one? Well, let me tell you. In 1991, a man named Keith Payne,
No,
who
no,
was
no.
a former
Hey, listen, you don't gotta tell me anything. I'm convinced I'm never touching Australia, okay? They can keep their Australia island and whatever the fuck. That shit does not exist on my map. My map, I see map, no Australia, okay? No existence.
Australian army soldier attempted to rescue the stranded animal, only to be struck in the hand. He would describe the pain of the venom as being worse than when he was struck by shrapnel. A
Damn.
month later, Keith was still experiencing pain in that hand. And in 2006, 15 years after the sting, he still had pain and discomfort
That's
in that
crazy,
same
bro.
hand. So as tempting as it
I
might
bet he wished to come back and shoot that motherfucker in the head. The platypus.
be to pet a platypus, just
platypus?
remember, your hand and life might never be the same after touching it.
Damn. Damn, that was crazy, bro. What the hell? Holy shit. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this, and Europe W, because we have no scary things. Just that scary, I guess. We have people, which are awful, but you know what I mean. Anyway, see y'all.